What up, what up? Yeah, I don't know. I thought a lot of these games were going to be easy for some of these teams. Like, I didn't think the Bulls would get knocked out by the freaking Bucks the way they did. I mean, the Bucks beat the Bulls 99 to 78. So, the Bucks have knocked out the Celtics, the Bulls, and the Hawks to get to where they are. The Heat knocked out the Magic, the 76ers, and the Lakers. So, yeah. So, yeah, we got Hawks and Lakers for the third place game and fourth place. And then after that, we got the Bucks and the Heat. And then, depending on how I'm feeling, I might do like a bonus game of what I wanted to be the finals, which was the Bulls-Lakers, just for kind of shits and giggles. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, honestly. I didn't get too deep into the rosters, honestly, of these guys. If I had to pick, I'd say in this situation, the Lakers. Because I've noticed one thing, that depth matters. It's whose bench plays the best, almost. It's like, if I watched a couple teams, their starters killed it, but then the bench kind of, let the other team back into it. So, I don't know. I'll be honest, I feel like the Lakers misplayed their last game because, like, Shaq pretty much didn't play against the Heat in most of the fourth quarter, and it was kind of weird. Whew. That was goaltending? Yeah, they definitely have that, but it's just like I said, it's kind of a matter of how they play Shaq. And right now, he already has a foul and shit, so that's early. Just like this, it's 5-0 Hawks. Attaboy, Shaq. Pick him up. Whew. Running it. Showtime. The other night, Shaq went 4 for 4. Whoa, did you just see that? Jerry West, Jesus. I think that's the first time I've ever seen somebody use that animation. Kobe. Goddamn. Hawks cooled off. The Lakers are running. If you let the Lakers run, you're going to lose. Nice. I remember that Super Bowl was like a big running joke because at the time both those states had recreational marijuana use legalized, so it was like, man, that's gonna be one crazy Super Bowl. Like, imagine the hotels where all those fans are at. You get a contact high just staying above the room above them. Like, yeah, I'd like a room above any Broncos or Seahawks fan or next door to them and possibly with a vent. Whoa. Whoa, double block. Woo! Dominique, that's not a good place to be at out there. Yeah, Lakers are running on them now. He uses the screen, then he goes down and gets the board and the bucket. Damn. Just so fast on those backdoor cuts. Yeah, there's been a lot of people, but I mean, what do you say? It's voted on by players, right? So it's not like it's just, fans or, analysts and shit. It's voted on by the players, so I don't know. They must see something that maybe we don't. I don't know. Kobe. Nope. Shaq. He's so fast, Matumbo couldn't even get over to help. Yeah, I don't know. Woo! Oh, shit. Jerry West missing a layup. I don't know about that. Damn. He almost rejected it right into the hoop. Kobe. Oh, shit. James Worthy in for Shaq. That's about the craziest thing I've ever heard, but what are you going to do? Oof. Well, got that at the buzzer. You know, I'll never figure that out. I can't tell you how many people, like on last year's Madden, really the last two, that have been like pissed about Aaron Donald, and it's like, I don't know. Last time I checked, he's pretty good. Like, I think it's just something about that position doesn't get a lot of respect unless, you know, it's a popular guy who, like, you know, there were even times where I feel like people didn't realize how, like, valuable Ndamukong Suh was, and but it's like if you look at how many times some of those guys get, you know, double, even triple teamed, and that allows a teammate to get a sack. It's not just what they get, it's what they allow their teammates to do, and I don't think people look at that, right? And he probably would have had more. But once again, like I said, so many teams end up double or tripling those guys, and their linebackers or the defensive, you know, the rush ends get up sacks, and then they get kind of all the attention because it's like, well, they're getting the sack, but it's like, well, you know, they got the sack because Aaron Donald was getting double or triple team in the middle. Because he's just, you know, I don't know. When you have to game plan around somebody against one guy or, you know, whatever, he must be pretty fucking good, so. That was a pretty shitty pass. Right? And sometimes that's the problem. People expect stats. They don't look at the little things, you know. It's like I said, it's in baseball, it's the guy that gets a walk rather than hitting the home run, but the next guy comes up, hits a home run, and, you know, nobody remembers the guy that got a walk to help him win. So, yeah. Right? I don't know. Whew, Goodrich is on fire. Kareem's getting a bunch of minutes, dude. He's still in the damn game. I'm 1 hour away from my birthday, man. About 45 minutes, it'll be my birthday. Right? That is for sure. I'm a Husker fan, though, so I appreciate offensive linemen. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I know how important offensive linemen are to do what you need to do, so some people don't get it. They just think they're the big dumb guys, and it's like, no. It takes a lot more than just being big to play offensive lineman. You gotta have pretty good footwork to do what they do, and to be able to pull, guards and tackles and all that. You gotta be decent at what you do, so. Right? Kobe's back in. Still no Shaq. They got Wilt the Stilt. Shit. Oh, another foul. This time it's an and one. It's Paul. So I wanted to do this stuff last night, but my internet kept cutting out like right before I started this. I was just fixing to get on and get everything set up, and I looked over at my computer and my Facebook thing said chat is currently unavailable, and I'm like, why the fuck is that? So I looked down at my little internet dealie and I realized it was off and it said no internet access. So I was like, okay. So gave it a few minutes. It came back on again, everything hunky-dory. Started kind of thinking about getting stuff set up again, and no sooner than I did, shit went out again. So at that point I went in and reset the modem, did all that hoopla, let it do its thing, and then, yeah. Finally, after about an hour and 30 minutes of it kept going on, off, I just said, fuck this, I can't stream, because if it clicks off even for just a second, it ends everything, and I gotta start completely over, so hopefully tonight everything runs a little smoother. We haven't had any issues yet, but it was late last night. It was probably, like I said, about 11:30, 11:45. It was some bullshit, but that happens around here every now and again. We kind of just have like a brain fart on my internet or something. Oh, excuse me. Des Bryant. Yeah, that's not a bad choice. Not that I'm a Cowboys fan, but if I had to say my favorite Cowboy player would probably be the dude they just got from Nebraska here, the linebacker this last year too. What the hell's his name now? It's on the tip of my damn tongue. And I know who I'm thinking of and everything, and I can't think of his fucking name right now. It's like literally right there. The little white dude plays linebacker, big ol' fucker. He got hurt last year. God damn it. It's right there on my tongue proper. Why can't I think of his name? He wasn't a draft pick, he was a free agent, dude. Yeah. I don't know, though. The problem, Randy's made a lot of mistakes and doesn't seem to learn much from them. I think if he could prove maybe that he can learn from his mistakes, they'd be more willing, but... God, I can't think of that linebacker's name for my life right now. I'll be right back. Alright. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that would have good teams if weed was legal. I think eventually they're gonna have to let that shit slide in all these sports, because a lot of guys are gonna start claiming it'll work good for their pain, and I don't doubt it one bit. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Might have to look it up. I can't do it right now, but like I said, I know it wasn't Barrett or Bo Rude. I'm trying to even think of some other dudes that, like I said, it's just driving me crazy, because it's like literally I can see his face, I can see him playing. For the life of me, I can't think of his fucking number even. Man, they really like taking them deep threes, don't they? halftime. Gifford. His last name was Gifford. Luke Gifford, I think, was his name. He played for you guys, and he stepped up, and then as soon as he stepped up, he had one game where he was having a killer game, and he ended up hurting himself making a kick-ass play or something. I can't remember what the deal was, but Luke Gifford, I believe. Like I said, I'll have to look it up to be sure, but I'm almost certain that's who it is. If I get on Google right now, it'll kill my whole fucking stream. Man, anytime you have more points than you played in minutes, I feel like you probably did something right, especially if you played in double-digit minutes. Yeah, I don't know. He's one of those dudes, maybe the rest was good for him for a year, but linebacker's also kind of one of those positions where a guy can be killer one year, and if he has just the wrong injury, it makes his job pretty difficult. So I don't know. And he is. Sean Lee's getting old, man. He ain't getting any younger. Yeah, I was going to say, you let Jerry West have that, he's going to put that in there. Yeah, I'd like to think he can play till, at 34, 35 age, barring injuries. I mean, if he keeps getting hurt, that'll be that. You can't expect him to keep getting the types of injuries, at that position and keep playing, at least at the level that they expect. But I could see him going for another, 2-3 years. Especially if the Cowboys are making a stink. If they're doing good and, maybe he feels like they're right on that verge, then, it's also another reason to stick around, It's like, why not give yourself that one more year to maybe see what they can do next year kind of deal. Well, that was strange. Yeah, there's so many sports guys that you just wonder without injuries what. There's differences you wonder about what if they'd have been on a different team or if they'd have had less injuries, especially like, dudes that I don't want to say, I'm trying to even think of a good example. But like that's like Bryce Harper for the first, how many years in Washington. What would he have done if they would have built something a little sooner instead of literally the year after they get rid of him, they finally put something together. And it's like some people are like, well, that's because Bryce Harper wasn't that good. But it's like I have a hard time believing that Bryce Harper isn't good. He seems pretty good. Yeah, there you go. Bob Sanders is a good example of that. Yeah. Yeah, quarterbacks getting an offensive line, it makes you wonder what guys would have done. Yeah. See, like I said, especially with the turnaround anymore in NFL, it used to be kind of like I said when Peyton Manning played, it was like, look how long he had pretty much the same fucking team. It's just turning into a thing now where it's like, shit, you get a dude for 2 to 3 years and he's going to be gone, so your windows seem to be a lot smaller than they used to be. Then again, though, back in the day, it used to be such a thing where the team you were drafted to was most likely the team you were going to finish with, unless you weren't good. Then you might not end up being kept around, but now it's almost the exact opposite. It's like, you keep those good, decent role players, but the stars, they don't stay for more than a year or two. Yeah, I don't consider Packer fans quite normal, though. They're kind of like that same deal with the Husker fans sometimes, where it's kind of like, you guys, don't appreciate your past enough. So maybe you know, you don't deserve that future yet. You need to realize, it's like, what have you done for me lately? But it's like, well, some teams don't have the history that we have, and we're like complaining about that. Like, I want to be good, don't get me wrong. I want to see us be good, but at the same point, it's like, it's not like we've never been good before, and that's the problem. Sometimes expectations can be a real bitch. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather have high expectations than low, but with that said, you also have to understand that you're not going to win them all. And, what we did in the 90s wasn't normal. That's like, it's, shit like that had not been done before, like, and people just expect that to just be easy. Like, oh, you should just be able to do that, don't you? Why can't you just do that again? It's like, well, it's not that simple. That's why you should have appreciated that while it was happening, because it was really hard to do what they were doing. It's kind of like the Cowboys in the 90s too, I don't think that people get it. It's like, what they did wasn't an easy thing. They just made it look easy, but if it was easy, people, they'd still be doing it if it was that easy. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The Packers might be dealing with that Derek Jeter disease, though, sometimes, where once a guy gets so high and mighty that until he's gone, there's not much you can do because, well, that attitude and that paycheck eats up a lot of the team. It's like I've said before, I will always respect Derek Jeter, and he probably is one of the all-time great Yankees. But towards the end, he was an anchor. You know, it was a respect thing, and they did the right thing. But you know, we weren't going to win any championships toward the end there because you could just tell his payroll ate up a lot of what we needed to make those moves. And when the money's not there, it's just not there because you got to pay Derek Jeter. You know. I get it, but it's like it hurts the team as an overall. So yeah, I don't know. Until you get the day of guys are willing to take pay rate or pay cuts to make sure they win, and not just one or two guys, but the team as a whole. You know, you'll always have those teams that have that one or two guys that eats up so much of the shit. It's just that's kind of what you're stuck with. It's great if you're winning, but if you're not, what do? You know. What the fuck is going on down there, Lenny? Right? You know? Kobe. So we'll see when they put Shaq back here in the fourth. Right now they got Kareem and Wilt. Yeah, I guess. What are you gonna do though? It'd have probably been hard to do anything too crazy. And you gotta be careful, because who knows, whatever you name them next, somebody might find that a fucking offensive. So I think they want to be real careful about what they choose to be their next move. Yeah, like I said, yeah, something like that. The senators, the generals, something. Looks like Shaq's coming back in. Ooh, Magic Johnson with the rejection. Yeah, I was hearing about that. There's all types of shit I was hearing about, but sexual harassment, cheerleaders, all kinds of shit. Fortunately, it's probably not an isolated event if it is true, so and fucking rich people thinking they're untouchable, dude. And sadly, some of them are right. They seem to be untouchable. I was reading stories about Dan Snyder, team owner, having drug problem and all this and that. It's like that wasn't in the main article I read. It's weird. It's amazing how some of that stuff was kept out of the mainstream media articles. Right? And I mean, let's be real, like isn't that a fireable deal? I mean, if you're even if you're not directly involved, it's happening under your quote watch. So shouldn't you be held somewhat accountable for that? It's no different than like college coaches claiming they need to be held accountable for recruiting shit and college basketball, that money going around. Coaches say, I don't know what's going on. How am I supposed to know? Because you're the fucking head coach, dude. That's how you're supposed to know. You're supposed to know every fucking nook and cranny of your program. So how do you not know it's happening? So I don't know. Goddamn Hawks are within 5 here. Ooh, that was a shady pass. Damn. Chakran on the floor. Watch out. Yeah, I can't. What's his name? Montez Sweet or Sweat, whatever, plays kind of a mix hybrid defensive end linebacker, doesn't he? Something like that. It's that dude that ran like the ridiculous 40 as a linebacker in the combine last year or whatever. Yeah. Well, I just don't see the Hawks making this comeback, but looking like the Lake Show is going to finish third here. Right? Oh shit, I thought that was going to go in off the bounce. Yep, that's game. So that's kind of crazy. The Hawks ended up finishing number 4, and they were the 4 seed. That's about the only one that's going to be right, because 1, 2, and 3 all got eliminated. Alright, 104 to 91. Nobody on their team scored 20, but they had three dudes in double digits. So the Lakers had 2 guys get 20 points. Magic Johnson hit 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. That's pretty crazy. Kobe had 20 points, 2 assists, or 3 assists. And Shaq, 12 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, and a block. Kareem had 5 blocks. That's crazy. Alright, well, it's time for the championship game, dude. It looks like it's just me and you, Proper. I'll be honest, I thought maybe people would get a little bit into this, maybe if people saw what was going down, but that's alright. So, the Heat are the away team because they are the 14 seed. The Bucks are the home team because they were the 5 seed. Right. Let's see, for the Heat, alright. So there's your matchup. Tim Hardaway against Oscar Robinson. A little bit of a mismatch, but not much, because Tim Hardaway can play some mean defense. D Wade on Sidney Moncrief. LeBron James on Marquise Johnson, and that Marquise Johnson's been playing like fucking Michael Jordan in this tournament. So got Alonzo Mourning playing Giannis. And old Shaq playing young Kareem. Alright, well, here we go. Championship game. Greatest team of all time. We got the Miami Heat taking on the Bucks for all the bragging rights, at least as NBA 2K20 goes, I guess. Yep, here we go. Championship game. I feel like the Heat are better offensively, but the Bucks have a better defense, so this could be a real fucking good game. We're 11 minutes, 12 minutes away from my birthday being official today. 11:48 my time, so I got about 12 more minutes here. I'm 39 years old for about 10ish more minutes, man. Ooh, D Wade. That's a bummer. But I guess at least you're done with it, right? The Greek Freak. Dude's got one of the craziest last name in all of sports, dude. His last name's the kind of last name you feel sorry for jersey companies and shit. The guy that has to remember to spell that shit right. What up, what up? You're just in time. It's the last 10 minutes of my 30s, man. 9 minutes away. I'm no longer in my 30s. Well, maybe tomorrow will be better. After all, it's my birthday. You can't have a bad day on my birthday. I won't allow it. It's all good. It feels a little weird, but at the same point, it feels about the same. You know what I mean? It's more in thought that it feels weird. But physically, it feels the same, so... It's not like I'm gonna go out and buy a walker, you know, and a scooter and stuff tomorrow. Ooh. Yeehaw. You know, I lived in Nebraska all my life, and the only time I've ever heard anybody say yeehaw, usually it's time to leave. Right? I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, knees will be all fucked up, won't be able to bend my back straight, right? My beard will turn gray. I'll be talking to you tomorrow and calling you whippersnappers. Right? If I even get a sleep. Shit, last night was stupid. Not only was my internet not working up, so I couldn't do anything on here or any video games for that matter. Good lord. Um, my kid was having trouble sleeping. The youngest was having some nightmares, so eventually I just let him sleep in our room so he could get some sleep. And yeah, I slept on the couch, and I don't sleep well on the couch, so yeah, all you damn kids, get off my grass. Slow down on your bikes, you're gonna hurt yourselves. Stop playing all that damn loud music. Yeah, fortunately for about the last 15 years, I've been told that I act pretty much about the same as I've acted since I was 25, including my styles of music and all that shit hasn't really changed. I'm still down for a good metal band any day. When my parents were 40, anything that got a little too loud, they'd get a headache, I said. My parents couldn't even hardly listen to Pearl Jam back in the day. It was hilarious. I'd be in my room, wouldn't even have it that loud. My dad would come in back, can you turn this shit down? I'd be like, what? He's like, it's giving me a headache. Like, for real? I used to give him crap because I was like, you know, here, you're the one that used to tell me how awesome Kiss was, and now you're telling me to turn down my rock and roll. Yeah, my dad just had his leg removed at the knee. Like, the whole fucking leg chopped off at the knee. He's still in rehab learning how to kind of balance himself and pretty much relearning how to walk. But his was diabetes, but it caused him to fall all the time because he nerve damage to his feet. He can't tell when he was stepping on solid ground. Sometimes he'd think he'd have something solid under him, but it wasn't there, and he'd take a step and bad things would ensue. So it's one of those strange deals where it's just like, yeah, and he even took care of himself as far as diabetes go, like, you know, compared to some people. So it's kind of crazy with as many issues. That just tells you how crazy that disease is that even a person who takes pretty good care of himself can still up having all kinds of issues with their vision, their nerves. Whoa, wrong guy there, D Wade. Yeah, my dad's the bionic man. He had a pancreas transplant when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. And then he had his kidneys failed, so he had a kidney transplant when I was, God, how old would I have been? About 19 when he had the kidney transplant, and then he had to have a vein in his arm transplanted. So my dad actually has 3 parts from other human beings that passed away that were organ donors. So it's like I'm a huge pusher on organ donation because that shit kept my dad alive. If not for people donating their organs, my dad would be dead. So Yeah, my brother has diabetes. It killed my aunt when she was 25, and she was small. She was, an average sized person. My dad isn't big either. My brother's skinny as fuck, and yeah, it's ravaged through my family, so I count my lucky blessings every day I don't have it, knowing that someday I might, so. Like I said, I still have to keep an eye on my kids, because our family tends to skip a generation. I kind of looked into the history of it as far as, people in my family that have had it. It's not a guarantee, but for the most part, it skips a generation, then it hits their kids, and then it'll skip a generation, then it hits their kids. So, according to the math, it should skip me because my brother got it, but odds are pretty good if one of my kids don't get it, one of their kids will. So it's really fucking weird. Yeah, I've had a few of those dudes that were offensive linemen that if you move them over to tight end, they all of a sudden become better tight ends than they are offensive linemen. And it's like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. They can't catch a ball for their life. It's like I had a guy whose catch was like a fucking 32, but was better tight end than my 96 overall. And it was like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. The 96 overall has 98 catch. Yeah, and see, neither one of my dad's parents had it, but two of their kids got it. So that was kind of the rarity. But the weird part is my aunt is one of the few that died of it at a young age because of diabetes. The rest of my relatives that did have it, when it skipped the generations, nobody passed away from it. But whenever it seems to not skip that, when two siblings got it, it seemed as if one of the siblings ended up dying from it. But since her, it's been doing what it does. So I don't know. Scary shit sometimes, but just like anything else, can't really worry about it all the time, because, yeah. Shit, one of my scrawniest friends I ever had in my life had diabetes, and that dude didn't fucking weigh nothing. We'd be in the 7th and 8th grade, and he was still like a fucking feather, so, yeah. I'm not saying being heavy can't help your chances getting diabetes, but it has no discrepancy over your body style or anything. It don't give a fuck. Well, the Heat got a little bit of a lead here early. We'll see if they can hold it. I've seen the Bucks be down by as many as 19. The Bucks were down to the Hawks by 19 points, and I thought for sure, well, this game's over, dude. And then next thing you know, Milwaukee came storming back and won by 7. So puff bars. I was gonna say that dude might not want to do that, considering. Oh, Chris Bosh says I got it though. Let me handle this. Oof. Well, it's officially my birthday, y'all. Let's do this. It's my birthday. I'm 40. 40 bitches. I can't think of a couple better people to be spending some time with on my birthday than you two, so appreciate you being here. every day, but especially today. Fucking party, party! We got a tie ball game here, folks. This is fixing to be a good one. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a blowout for either team. The only way I would have hoped it was a blowout is if the Bulls or Lakers would have been playing. Otherwise, I kind of hope for a good game here. So far, so good. Yeah, she's probably doing some grinding on Madden. The other night, she was apologizing for not talking, but I told her it's no big deal, dude. You do what you gotta do. Uh-oh, LeBron's taking back over again. He's like, nah, fuck this noise, dude. I told her that. I said, don't worry about it, man. I wasn't concerned. Like I said, just happy to have anybody around. I don't. It's like, it's all good. Everybody's got shit to do. I always feel bad when people are streaming and I can't watch or I gotta go do some other shit. So sometimes I'll just turn it on my TV and leave for a little bit. My buddy will play Call of Duty or something and I'll see he's streaming, but I know I can't chit chat, so I'll just pop it on my screen to help him out and get a view, and yeah. I don't know, man. That is a good question. You should probably change it up. Man, I don't know who that Marquise Johnson guy is, but he's taken over this tournament for the Bucks. Back to being tie ball game. These guys just keep going back and forth. I guess it depends what you plan on doing, dude. I guess if you plan on maybe throwing to your running backs and tight ends a little more and dunking and, you know, kind of dinking and diming them down the field, maybe stick with West Coast. But if you got a couple, you know, a couple of those deep threat receivers and a quarterback that can throw it, then you go deep. Shaq said, "No, thank you, sir." Yep, there you go. If you got Megatron, might as well. Ooh. Yo, apparently Giannis just got hurt. I don't know how Giannis got hurt, but he had like a little medical emblem by him, and Terry Cummings had to come in and shoot his free throw, so that was kind of fucking weird. Oh, I was gonna say, man, if Kareem can put that down, that'd be some shit. Well, he got a super close game at half, 48-46. 16 minutes of clock on for basketball left to go to make a difference. Well, I was going to turn injuries off on this, but I thought, you know, that's not really a true simulation because somebody can get hurt, you know, I mean, it's just the way I roll. But I turned it down so there wouldn't be a bunch of injuries when I did my setup for my, like, my sliders or whatever you want to call them. I had to play like I think 5 games with the sliders before I got them to kind of where I thought it was a, you know, realistic as I could get it. Yep, she agrees. Go deep. Go deep proper. Fucking Michael Jordan over here. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm telling you. Whoa. Ooh, that was ugly. Right? And I'm that same way when I pass. I'm more tempted, or, you know, I'm more timid to pass over the top than I am dinking and dunking it down the field. So, unless it's just not working and I got to change it up. But at that point, it's, you know, then you're getting out of your style to change up. So you got to do that too. But look at this guy. Oh, Ron got the best of him that time, but he got the ball back. I'm telling you. I noticed Giannis isn't back in the game. They got Vin Baker in right now. That's kind of shitty. That shit happens, dude. Well, I couldn't have asked for a better final so far. This is just back and forth, back and forth. Damn. Yeah, definitely Bo Jackson. Both sports, really. The dude would have been a guaranteed Hall of Famer. I still think he's one of the greatest athletes ever, even with his career cut short. Just an athlete, just overall, high school, college, pros. I still think he's right up at the top. Yeah, but that tells you something, because the dude wasn't around for very long, and people still think of him as pretty big shit. So that, and what if you ever have a chance to like watch his story, especially about his baseball career, he was even better at baseball than he was football. Like Deion Sanders, I have to say, was better at football than baseball. Brian Jordan was probably better at baseball and football, but Bo Jackson, it's no doubt in my mind that he was way better at baseball than he ever was at football, but he could just do some things in football that made him good enough to be in the pros. Yeah, but Bo Jackson's a part of the history of the game just because, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I hate those fucking tests. I'm not a good test taker. Anytime I'm put on the spot to take a test, I fucking lose my mind. And all information inside of it, along with it, it just goes away. I'm like, durr. Yep, I did that shit. One time I forgot to turn my radio down when I got in my car. I didn't realize it was so loud, and the dude gave me a hard time about it. And he's like, you should have your seatbelt on before you're ever fiddling with your radio. And I'm just like, dude, fuck, man, you're like really gonna fuck me, aren't you? It's like, that's how we're starting out, huh? It's like 10 seconds later, I also noticed you didn't adjust any of your mirrors or check to make sure they needed adjusting. And it's like, that's because I'm the only one that drives in my car and they didn't need adjusting. Well, yeah. I mean, but that's, like I said, I don't look at him like the best football. I just figure, like, athletic, talent wise, he's one of the best and most talented athletes. But as a career in sports, no. But do I think he was more talented than those guys? Yes. I think he's more talented than all those guys you just mentioned right there. He just didn't have as good a career as those guys right there. But if you ask me talent wise, yeah, he's more talented than all those fucking guys. Because I'd like to see any one of those guys try to do what he did. Go play baseball and play football. They wouldn't be able to do it. Yep, you don't fuck around. Seatbelt. Seatbelt, check your mirrors. Put her in gear, check your mirrors. And then slowly accelerate away. Use your blinkers all the time. Turn them on early. Better a little extra early than a little, right before the last second. I talk about Bob Sanders. I know he was the fucking real deal. He's one of the dudes I collect as far as my sports cards go, my collectible cards. He's one of the dudes. Every time I got a Bob Sanders card, I was stoked. I kept every goddamn one of them, too. Well, at least you should know it's a quick fix next time you take it. Just remember that shit and do everything else you did the last time and you'll be gold. If it makes you feel any better, I have a cousin who had to take the written test 17 times and then had to take the driving test 6 more times, and they still gave him a license eventually. I was thinking after like 5, maybe they need to sit you down and maybe ask you if driving is your thing and if you've ever bought a bus pass. See, there you go. You just gotta worry about that. Yep, just do what don't do what you did and then do what you did. Don't do the bad stuff and then redo all the good stuff and you'll be solid. I don't have to do anything with my license until I think it's 2024. But the nice thing is, because this last time I had to physically go down to the courthouse, the next time I can do it over the internet, and I can just use the same picture as long as I don't have any major accidents or a shit ton of tickets. I can do it all online. I just gotta pay the fee and they'll just send me a new license. Well, I see Giannis is back in, but he's still got that hurt thing by his name, so I don't quite know if that affects his stats. I assume probably as attributes. Miles Garrett. Right? I've had some form of a license since I was 15. But I had to get it because I started a job a week before I turned 15. So my mom was like, yo, we're not going to drive you to work anymore. We drove you to work for a week, so you got to get your work permit and all that shit so you can start driving to work, or else you don't get to have that job. So yeah. Right? Stupid jobs anyway. I have to start a new job on Monday. I'm not really all that thrilled, but it's a PUD job. I'm just not that thrilled about it. Just, I don't know. Don't do well in public places and shit like that for long periods of time. It sounds stupid and ridiculous, but I don't know. It's just a thing I have to deal with, so. Anxiety ain't no fucking bitch. Just gotta deal with shit. And that's about one of the few things that has gotten worse as I've gotten older, and not have been my physical body, but my mental body. I kind of was hoping when I was younger and shit. Oh, Giannis for 3. I kind of was hoping like my anxiety and just that general depression shit would, I'm not saying it would go away, but I might find a way to, especially the anxiety, I would just find a way to fucking make it, not there, but it's there. It never fucking goes away, and it just keeps getting worse. There you go. I thought about starting a, Giannis another one? Jesus. I thought about starting a, franchise deal on here and streaming it. Right? Dude, like, this is, like, my wife has told me a couple times that how I'm as collective as I am, knowing me, is unreal, because she's like, if there was anybody she expected to just totally lose their fucking shit, it was me. And I understand. When this shit started happening, I kind of was like, I don't want to say ahead of the game, but you know, in late February and early March, I was watching, numbers being tracked, and we weren't even in like the top 50, let alone top 80 countries yet when I was watching it. And I told her about it one time. I remember I made her go buy toilet paper. I said, I need you to do something that's going to sound really fucking odd, but you can't ask questions, you just need to kind of do it. And she's like, what? I was like, you need to stock up on weird shit. Like, think of things that we need, that we use every day, but things that we can't necessarily live without, or would be very uncomfortable living without. And I said toilet paper is the number one example. And she was kind of like, okay. And I was like, I knew I needed to explain myself. So I told her, I said, there's this funky, weird disease that they're, starting over there in Asia at a couple places in China. I said, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before that shit comes here, and it's not going to be a fun one. It's gnarly. And she was like, okay. And she bought an extra thing of toilet paper and, kind of gave me a good chuckle and laughed at me a little bit. But, yeah. No. Everything's good on toilet paper here now. I only had her buy one extra 12-pack. Normally we buy a 24-pack, and that lasts us a really long time. But I told her just grab a 12-pack with the normal 24-pack you get. And after that, we couldn't get toilet paper. It was amazing when, like, I was really glad we had those extra 12 rolls here. You're looking to blame the people that have apocalypse bunkers under their home that have 50 years worth of supplies, even though most of the shit expires in 2 years. They buy 50 years worth of stuff. It's like, wouldn't it make more sense just to buy 2 years worth of stuff? Like, look at the, average out the expiration date on that shit, because even canned soup does go bad. I know people are like, oh, shit lasts forever. No, it doesn't. Nothing fucking lasts forever, I promise. I'm not saying it's just, unedible on the expiration date, and that's the, quote, best buy date, but there's a reason for a best buy date, and that's because eventually, every day past that, it's just getting a little more and a little more nasty. Yeah, and see, that's the biggest thing that's freaking me out right now, is I've been doing a really good job of staying home, because I already did that before this happened. I was pretty antisocial. There were very few, like, big public events I would go to, and, yeah. But my problem is, that's like, people are like, I used to get so mad at people, they're like, how can you go to a Nebraska football game, but yet you tell me when you have to go to work or go to Walmart, you get too anxious and it drives you crazy? And I tell them it's pretty simple, because for those 3 hours, 4 hours that I'm at that Nebraska football game, everybody in there is my friend. No one I know there is going to be mad at me. And on top of that, I'm distracted. I'm being distracted by everything around me, by what's going on in front of me. But as soon as I have to go to Walmart, I can't be distracted, because I'm trying to get what I need to get, and I have to deal with stupid people, doing this or doing that, or I just feel like people are looking at me funny, and it's just a weird thing. Or like when I go to work, I can't be distracted because I'm working, but then I start to think too much, or I make a mistake, and then I get mad at myself. And yeah, it's hard as fuck to explain. I wish I didn't have it. I tell people that all the time when they do, like, give me shit. It's like, trust me, I wish I didn't have this shit, but I do. right? And see, yeah, even when I would go over to friends' houses back in the day when I was younger, like say on a Friday night, we'd go over to a buddy's house. I knew he would be having a party, and I'd be there for a little bit, but after a certain amount of people got there, I'd start feeling really uncomfortable. Even if it was people I knew, I would just start to get uncomfortable by the amount of people there because I wasn't being distracted by just the couple that were there. If there was like two or three, we could just chit chat, I'm getting distracted by conversation, yada yada. As soon as there's a dozen people, and I'm like, it's like I get like squirrel, and it's just too much. Too much. Right? Yeah, you can't go in our Walmart here without one. They won't allow you to. They have a guy at a door, and they're only using one of the two doors right now, too, so you're forced to go in the same door and come out the same door, and yeah, you can't even walk in without one on now. They have the mask police at the door. Most businesses like that are around here now. If anybody is indoor now, a lot of the restaurants are still just serving out of their windows or whatever, but as far as places like that go, yeah, no masks, no service. Right? Well, I'm gonna have to start wearing one for my job. They pretty much told me whenever there's somebody in the store, you gotta wear it. But as soon as all the customers are out, you can lower it down as long as you're maintaining that 6 feet from other employees. But pretty much anytime you have a chance of being within 6 foot of somebody, you're supposed to put on a mask. So I'm just gonna put my mask around my hat or something up on my head or some shit. I don't know. Just do what I'm supposed to do. Just stoked. The only positive I'm trying to come up with about being able to have to go work and like actually be out and about is that I'm gonna hope just to use that money towards helping out with some stuff around here, and I want to be able to buy some sports cards and open some boxes of cards maybe. Yeah, I had to wear a mask when I got my hair cut. I walked in there and I forgot all about a mask, and I had to ask her, I was like, shit, I feel really bad. Like, do you have a mask? And she's like, yep, I get you one. I asked her how many masks she cut while cutting people's hair, and she says surprisingly a lot more than you'd think. Where she'd cut somebody's mask on accident and have to give them a new one. She'd be, trimming up that area back behind the ear and trying not to hit it, and you accidentally just bump it. It's not like it's super strong material. It's like you can pull it and it snaps. So I imagine it wouldn't take much for a blade or anything to do that. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't have enough money to do shit, let alone invest in some already multi-million dollar company. So if I had money to invest, I'd invest money on my house or my, stuff like that. Not somebody else's business. They already got enough fucking money. They don't need any of mine. Stocks, I don't trust that shit. Especially in this day and age, it's all fake money. Well, we're down to the last 2 minutes here, and it's still back and fucking forth. The Heat are trying to get back into it here. I don't know. Not when you have fucking Michael Jordan over here. I'm telling you, Marquise Johnson, dude, tournament MVP as far as I'm concerned. I have no problem saying that because without him, I don't think the Bucks won any of their games. I think if you take him away, they lose every game they play. This fucking guy has just been beast mode. Look at him. Dude's got 24 fucking points. LeBron has 9. Pretty much. Oh, that was a big miss. They gotta start insta-fouling, right? They can't just let him run around and burn clock here. Fucking Michael Jordan, dude. Forget Marquise Johnson. His name is Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan in disguise or something, man. Dude, I haven't even turned on Madden. My kids have had it out in the living room because they had like a franchise they started back in shit a long time ago. They've been fucking around on. You know, I don't know about how Giannis is your MVP of the game here because that dude right there, Marquise Johnson guy, has been tearing it the fuck up, but I guess Giannis did play hurt according to things here. So there is that. I've enjoyed my baseball since I gave up on Madden, I guess. That's probably been the problem, is baseball got me hooked pretty good with their Diamond Dynasty, even without baseball being played. They did a really good job, I thought, with cards and stuff with literally nothing to really go off of. You know, there was no season, there was nothing to do, so you just had to kind of, you know, make things up as you go, and they did a really good job, I thought. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done anything on Madden. It hasn't even been in my machine since probably my last stream with it. Whenever that would have been. And that was a long time ago. But I also got baseball a hell of a lot earlier than normal. Normally I'd been getting baseball like about 10-15 days ago. I'd have only had it for about 2 weeks normally. Well, it's not looking good for the Heat here. That clock's getting mighty low, mighty fast. But it was a fun little tournament. Even though neither of my teams won, it's still fun to sit and kind of watch these teams and just see what happened. I'm going to post the dunk of the tournament tomorrow. I got a couple videos saved. I'm going to try to decide kind of which one I think it is, but I already think I know who's going to win, so... Well, that's game. Michael Jordan got the board. Go figure. Well, there's your greatest team of all time according to this game. The Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to walk away with this 100-93. So yeah, final standings are 4th place, the Hawks. 3rd place, Lakers. 2nd place, the Heat. 1st place is the Milwaukee fucking Bucks. Yeah, due to 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Giannis, 21, 5, 3, 3, and 3. So, okay, I get it. Kareem had another double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Otherwise, it was pretty much just those 3 holding it down, and then a bunch of balance shit from the other guys. And as for the Heat, Glenn Rice did pretty good off the bench, but Lonzo had 20. LeBron had 9. Sorry, those are the minutes. So LeBron only had 9. Shaq almost had a double-double. Yeah, just nothing too crazy for them. So, alright, well, that's that. That is the end of the greatest team of all time tournament. It is the Milwaukee Bucks. So yeah, like I said, I'm trying to put together a kind of simulation league for franchise on here, and then my other idea was to do these classic teams and kind of do like a decades tournament and figure out who is the best of each one, but it's hard because every team has a lot. So it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of teams. I mean, it goes all the way from 64, 65 to 15 and 16. And there's just not a lot of 60s and 70s teams. So I don't know how I would set it up. I have no idea. But, with that said, I'm going to call it a night here. I gotta try to get some fucking rest, because starting tomorrow it's gonna be a long ass fucking weekend. I got my birthday quote today, but tomorrow I gotta hang out with the fucking fam here, do some stuff with them. And then Saturday I got my birthday party. I got some people coming up to the house, so we're gonna try to have a nice little social distance party. But yeah, I'll be back probably probably won't be until late next week. Because like I said, I got to start work on Monday and Tuesday, so I got to make sure I'm at least taking her easy those nights, not staying up till fucking 3 in the morning and shit, so. But yeah, so most likely my new stream schedule will be more towards the, Thursday, Friday, Saturday combination is kind of my plan here. Once I get my schedule set and see what goes on, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing, is kind of that 3 days in a row. And then just take a few days off to hang out with the fam and do the job shit, so. But yeah, thanks for the happy birthday wishes. Everybody, be good, behave, be nice, wash your damn hands. Peace. Later.